Today I just wanted to talk about visualization, what it is, how it can help you with injuries and pain, and more specifically, practical tips on how to do it and implement it into your day-to-day life. So firstly, what is visualization? So as the name implies, it involves visualizing, picturing in your mind yourself doing something. Specifically, when we're talking about injuries and pain, there's two ways you can visualize. You can visualize your body healing, and you can also visualize yourself doing an activity or a sport that you're scared of doing because it might cause some pain. Now, it's very interesting. There's a lot of scientific research done on visualization and how it can help athletes recovering with injury and people struggling with chronic pain. I'm not qualified enough to give you the in-depth of how it works, but in a nutshell, you're basically teaching your brain by visualizing yourself doing these activities or visualizing your body healing in a safe environment. You're teaching your brain that you are safe and that you're not in danger. And while you do this, it teaches your brain kind of not to be afraid of these activities. It stimulates some healing, and it also helps you generally lessen some of that anxiety and fear you may have over returning to your sport or returning to certain activities. So I'm now going to tell you kind of the practical tips on how to do it well. So firstly, how often should you visualize? Honestly, I would recommend starting off slow and with really easy goals that you can achieve. That's the best way to build some good habits. So for example, you can start with 2 minutes every other day, build it up to 2 minutes every day, 5 minutes every other day, etc., etc. And I wouldn't go above 10 minutes a day because it's very taxing on your brain to concentrate for that long. So 10 minutes is kind of like the maximum I would recommend. You can do it more often if you feel capable, but it is kind of a lot to focus on for that long. Next is, where should you visualize? More specifically, what environment is a good place to visualize in? I would recommend anywhere that is going to be quiet and free of distractions. I would also recommend doing it sitting down or lying down, kind of like as if you were going to meditate, with your eyes closed. And a good way to sort of get into your visualization is with a couple of deep breaths to start with. Gets your mind kind of in that internal state of calm, ready to concentrate on your visualization. Now, a good way to stay focused is if you put a timer for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, however long you're going to do it, that goes off at the end of that time. That way you don't have to check the time. You'll know when your phone rings, for example. That will help you to stay focused on what you're picturing inside your mind. Now, how do you do it? I mean, for both types of visualization, the key is to be as vivid as you can in your mind. So that means not only picturing vivid images of what is happening, but also any textures you can feel, any colors you might see, any smells, any sounds. Just try and get that total immersion in the visualization. It will make it more powerful to send those messages to your brain. So the first type of visualization is visualizing your body healing. So for me, for example, I know that my nerve is swollen. So I will picture it being swollen, and through my visualization, I will imagine the swelling going down. I'll imagine the scar tissue around my nerve disintegrating and disappearing. I will picture blood pumping through my arteries and veins to supply that area with the oxygen it needs to heal. I will picture my nerve moving as it should, because I know that mechanically my nerve is getting trapped and not moving as it should. So basically, I am telling my brain what I want it to do to heal my arm. This might sound crazy to you, but it has been proven to work in some cases. For example, if you have torn your ACL, you can do this by picturing your ligament being repaired. It can reconstruct itself, or You can picture the muscles around it kind of being strengthened and supporting the whole area. You can picture bruising disappearing. You can picture your scars becoming smaller and smaller. There's tons of things you can do with it. Just let your brain run wild as long as it's sending kind of those positive messages of healing to your brain. Now, the second way you can do visualization is to picture yourself doing activities or sports you're afraid might cause you some pain. You can either do this in the first person or the third person. So either when you visualize, it's your point of view, you can see your hands, you can see your environment, and you can feel things in your body. This is what I personally do. A lot of people prefer doing third person because it's easier to get the image of yourself doing something from someone else's point of view. Both are great, it's just down to what you find easier for you to do. So I know that I'm afraid of doing a pull-up, firstly because I suck at it, and secondly because it triggers a lot of pain in my elbow. So one way I can use visualization to sort of face this fear is to imagine myself doing a pull-up and imagine kind of the safe sensations of my muscles working as they should, of me feeling strong as I do it, of what sounds I can hear around the room, just a really vivid image of me successfully doing a pull-up to kind of tell my brain that it is safe for me to do this movement. Obviously that doesn't mean that you should just ignore your pain. It's just a way to, over time, build up confidence in your body's ability so that when you are able to go back to those movements, you're not paralyzed by fear. Now, what's interesting with this type of visualization is that you may find that the very act of just picturing a movement may set off pain. This is where we can see how strong our brain is in creating associations between certain movements and the triggering of pain. But over time, as you do this, the pain will disappear as your brain learns that these are safe movements and that it doesn't need to send you those danger signals of pain. So I really hope that these tips will help you, because I remember I was told, oh, you should visualize for pain, but I was never told how to actually do it and why it would be beneficial. So please let me know if you found it helpful, and I will see you soon for another video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.